I'm Dan. Being divorced is not as bad as it sounds. You know, once you get over feeling lonely, having no one to cuddle you, and no one's waiting for you when you get home. And I realized, what was I doing before I got married? Oh yeah, wallowing in self-pity. I'll get right back to that. So, it's been great. And people feel sorry for you too, which is nice. They're like, "Aw, poor thing." And then they ruin it. They're like, "Did you have kids with her?" And when you say no, they're like, "Oh, well, that's much better." And it's like, "Gee, thanks for downgrading my sympathy card." You know who else is getting a downgraded sympathy card right now? Is Hillary Clinton. Yeah, she's spending her sympathy capital on a book tour. She wrote a book about why she lost the presidential election. It's called What Happened. Spoiler alert, it wasn't her fault. And she wasn't the first she wasn't the first failed presidential candidate to write that kind of book. 4 years earlier, Mitt Romney wrote a book about why he lost President Obama. His book really cut to the chase, though. It was called Too White, Too Rich, and Too Mormon. But actually the guy who started this tradition was the first Republican to run against President Obama. His book was just called Why Me? Anyway, Hillary's book details the reasons why she lost. One of them she points out is potential Russian collusion. You know, the jury's still out. We don't really know what happened. We do know there's a new statue at the White House sent courtesy of Moscow. It's basically a bear standing on its hind legs going like this. So you can read into that whatever you think it means. But there was some very disturbing news that came out about Donald Trump this past week. Yeah, CNN reports that Donald Trump drinks 12 cans of Diet Coke per day. And you're probably thinking what I'm thinking. What does he have against Pepsi? Of course, CNN may be using the word Coke in its more generic meaning. And maybe he does drink Pepsi, in which case I'd be even more pissed off, because it's like, here we go with the fake news again. The only thing worse than people who actually prefer Coke are people who can't taste the difference. Anyway. Sorry, Coke drinkers. Anyway, the woman I actually did marry, who divorced me after I got her permanent resident status, was Mexican. And I love Mexican people, just not that one anymore. I mean, Mexican people, they know what's important in life. In Mexico, they'll have their music turned up real loud on like a Tuesday. Tuesday. This guy's out there with his cervezas and his boombox, and it's cranked and it's playing Que corazón, mi corazón, boom, 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 boom. Que corazón, mi corazón, which means, what time is it? It's 2 p.m. Can I join you? Anyway, the thing with Mexico is you got to be careful where you go, because they have what are called bandidos. Bandidos will like jump out of a tree when you're walking down the road and rob you blind. Like seriously blind. They'll take out your eyeballs and sell them. But when I was in Mexico, I had a different experience than most people. Most people go to resorts. I just went to town. That's back when I didn't care about living or dying. But when you're in Mexico, you're in a foreign country, and you don't speak the language, and you're the only white person for miles. It's a little bit disconcerting, especially when you have about 1,000 people staring at you, and it's like they're all thinking the exact thing. What is this gringo doing here? You know what?
Russian accent.
You know what gringo means, right? Does anybody know what gringo means? Gringo? No? It means American. And us Canadians, we do this cute little thing. We're like this, "Oh, no, you don't understand. No. I'm Canadian. Big difference." No. I've met a lot of Americans in my life. Honestly, the only difference is they talk louder and we wear more plaid. and we drink bad coffee. However, we do have different voting options, and I'll be straight up with you. I didn't vote for Justin Trudeau. I just didn't think hair was enough. And I have more to say. Oh, okay, so one more thing. If you did vote for Justin Trudeau, no hard feelings, okay? We can disagree. We're all in this together, right? You're just going to have to go along for the ride when I voted an idiot with no experience. Too bad Kevin O'Leary still isn't running. But we'll stop it there. Thanks.